you, Bob. Well, it's a real pleasure to be here. I would like to start thanking Livela Entertaining, Lou, all his company for all the support. Top Rank, Bob Aaron, Todd Bob, everyone involved, and of course Mark Taffet of HBO Pay-Per-View. I think without a doubt they are the best distributors of the pay-per-view in the pay-per-view business, and the support is very important for us, very, very important. Tecate Beer Company, they are been supporting us, also TV Azteca and all the international television, they are been supporting this event that is very important. Like Bob says, it's an even fight. It's a tremendous fight, and there's been a lot of talk about this fight, and there's been in the part of the camp of Martinez, there's been a lot of trash talk, and I think they finally get what they wanted. I don't know if because of the trash talk or because of the performance of our fighter that he's been performing sensational. But right now on September 15th, we're gonna have them fighting each other, and I think it's going to be a sensational fight. The public is going to be the winner of that fight because these two gentlemen are the best two middleweights in the world without a doubt. And I think being here in New York and having all this media it's honestly starting to get the atmosphere very hot, very nice. Feels great. And before I introduce, I'm going to give the microphone to Bob, but before I introduce Chavez, I would like to tell something to Martinez, but I will wait a little bit before I introduce Chavez. Thank you very much.
Very special person. One of the greatest fighters that ever lived, legendary. Certainly the greatest fighter in the history of Mexico. It's such a pleasure to have him with us today. He's the father of the champion. He is celebrating today his 50th birthday. Please welcome the one, the only, the Hall of Famer, Julio Cezar Chávez.
Gracias, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Bueno, primeramente, dar las gracias a todos los presentes.
First of all, I would like to thank all of you for being here.
Todos los medios de comunicación para esta gran pelea. Pues, como él lo ha venido diciendo, ¿no? Definitivamente.
Like I have been saying, definitely.
Creo que esta es la pelea que todos querían.
This is the fight that everybody wanted.
Definitivamente sabemos que Julio va a una pelea difícil, a una pelea dura.
I know that Julio is going to a difficult fight, a tough fight.
Sabemos que Martínez está considerado como uno de los mejores peleadores de la actualidad.
We know that Martinez is considered one of the best fighters now.
A mí en lo personal no me gusta, se me hace un peleador apestoso, un peleador correlón, un peleador que te baja las manos. Bueno, pero en fin, a él le ha servido.
And personally, I don't like his style. He's a runner. He stinks. He put his hands down. But well, it works for him. It worked for him.
Y en lo particular, creo que con todo respeto de todos ustedes, ha hablado mucho buches, mucha mierda.
And personally, with all the respect for all of you, he has been talking only bullshit, only crutch.
Pero el 15 de septiembre, toda esa mierda que ha hablado se la va a tener que tragar. Gracias.
But on the 15th, all the bullshit that he has been talking, he's gonna need to eat it.
Now we're going to sing Happy Birthday. First name was
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
me, the middleweight division means so much. In 1974 middleweight championship match, the great Argentine middleweight champion Carlos Monzon against Jose Napoles in Paris. That led to a number of other Monzon fights with the great Colombian champion Rodrigo Valdez and Carlos Monzon. And then I promoted Vito Antofermo and Alan Minter and all the middleweights of that era until one day in the late 70s I received a letter, two letters actually. One from Tip O'Neill, who was Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, and the other from Senator Ted Kennedy, saying that if I didn't give Marvelous Marvin Hagler a shot at the middleweight championship, there would be a congressional hearing, which I wasn't about to go to. So Marvin Hagler, a year later, became the middleweight champion of the world. And that led to some great middleweight championship matches with Tommy Hearns, with Roberto Duran, and with Sugar Ray Leonard. It's been a great division. Later on, Roy Jones and James Toney, Iran Barkley figuring in the mix, Michael Nunn. Great division. And so it's so unbelievable that now we're on the cusp of having a middleweight championship match that, believe me, will go into history. I really believe that when people years from now talk about great middleweight championship matches, as we do those that took place in the 70s, 80s, 90s, we'll be talking about this great match between Julio Cezar Chavez Jr. and Sergio Martinez. Really, this is historic. This is real history. And now, to introduce Sergio Martinez, my friend Lou DiBella.
You know, a couple of years ago, we first started barking and yelling and doing all the stuff that got Senor Chavez so upset. Honestly, back then, we didn't think it was much of a fight. You know, I wasn't worried about it. I saw a tall, skinny kid, didn't look much like his father, looked a little awkward in there. I didn't think he could go 3 or 4 rounds with Maravilla. My own cat knows this, most of you in the press know this. I tend to get nervous before fights. I'm one of those guys that just get nervous. I get emotionally involved, I get nervous. I'm nervous. I'm not going to bullshit you, I'm nervous. I'm nervous because this is a real fight. I'm nervous because the bigger, stronger guy is sitting right here. I'm nervous because when they walk in the ring that night, he's going to weigh about 165 pounds and he's going to be able to weigh about 180 pounds. And when a guy like mine does this, and you get hit by a guy weighing 180 pounds, it's a little scary. But I know what kind of champion is sitting to my left. And a couple of seconds ago, we were honored to listen to one of the greatest fighters of all time. And on the left is one of the greatest fighters of our time. And on September 15th, we're going to see why Sergio Martinez is one of the greatest fighters of our time. He's not only one of the greatest fighters of our time, but he's really one of the great people in boxing. And a lot of you know this, and it's one of the things that Sergio's been doing very actively the last couple of years is philanthropy and public service. And he's adopted 2 causes that are very close to his heart. One is the fight against domestic violence, the belief that a woman should not be abused under any circumstances by a male, that a child should not be hit by its father, that a woman should never be hit by the man in her life, and that is unacceptable behavior. He's gone to safe houses all over the world. He's gone to women's shelters all over the world, most of the time not accompanied by press, not accompanied by anybody, but to encourage those women. Having grown up poor and having to deal with bullying himself as a child, he's been very active in anti-bullying causes. And actually, there's a young lady here I'd like to bring up. Monique, can you come up here for a second? To those of you who aren't familiar, this is Monique McLean, and Monique has been a very close friend of Sergio's. for the last few years. And Monique was victimized by bullying, couldn't go to school. She was so abused. This kid was in the dumps and wasn't able to pursue her life or her education. And you know, Sergio was asked to take a meeting with her in Connecticut, but it so moved him that they've developed a very close relationship. And I'm proud to say that Monique just graduated from middle school. She's back in school with everybody else, living her life. So there are bigger things to fight for sometimes than just the belt. And by the way, on September 15th, we're not just fighting for a belt. The belt's sitting over there, but the best middleweight in the world is sitting over here. And both of these guys have something to prove. He wants his belt back, and he wants his respect. And that's why this is going to be such a great fight. You know, you have a hungry young fighter, a lion, the son of a legend, with championship blood running through his veins, who's been disrespected in the past, but frankly has earned back his respect. You know, I thought the Andy Lee fight was a remarkable fight for this young man. You know, he was losing the fight, he was getting outboxed, but what you saw was the strength and the size and the poise of Junior took over that fight, and he won that fight by knockout in a dramatic fashion and proved himself to be a worthy challenger. Not a challenger for any belt, a challenger for the moniker of the best middleweight on the planet. And on September 15th, these two men are fighting to be the best middleweight on the planet. And it's my honor to bring up the man right now who unquestionably is the best middleweight on the planet, Sergio Martinez.
Hello everyone, and welcome. Okay, well, first I want to thank one more time to HBO Pay-Per-View, to Top Rank, and Baba, and Divela Entertainment, and my promoter, Julio, and Samson Likovic, and my trainer Pablo Sarmiento, and all my team, all my friends. And now I want to dedicate this fight to Monique McClain. She's a good friend. She's a great friend. Okay, and now I speak Spanish. Okay, translate Samson, but translate. Okay, Samson, diga. Bueno, primero quiero dar las gracias a la Top Rank y a Chávez Jr. por haberme dado este combate.
I want to say thank you to Top Rank and Junior to accept this fight.
Por fin, por haberme dado este combate y dejar de escapar como gallina, macho.
Finally, he said yes and not to run like a chicken.
Era hora que las gallinas salgan de gallinero, ¿no?
It's time for the chicken to go out of his place.
Yo sé que todos lo piensan, pero yo me animo a decirlo.
Everybody thinks, but I have the way to say it.
Bueno, el 15 de septiembre le voy a pegar hasta en el carnet de identidad y le voy a dar la paliza de su vida a Chávez Jr.
I want to really fight. I will beat up his ID card and really beat him up.
No le va a ayudar ni siquiera el bate de béisbol con el que entrena.
Nobody will help him, including who is training for him.
Ok, esperen de mí la mejor producción, la mejor pelea el 15 de septiembre próximo.
Wait for me for the best fight I ever did.
Ahora quiero dedicar esta velada, este combate,
I want to dedicate this fight
también a toda la gente que lucha por combatir el problema de bullying y el problema de violencia doméstica, de violencia de género.
To all the people that is fighting against the bullying and against the abuse against women.
Y quiero dedicar este combate también a todas las mujeres agredidas y golpeadas y a todos los niños agredidos y golpeados en los colegios.
I want to dedicate this fight to all the women that is getting hurt and the children that are getting hurt.
Muy bien, otra vez felicitar a Chávez, padre.
One more time I want to say thank you to Senior.
Y por otra vez por soplar las velas delante nuestro. Muchas gracias.
And one more time to blow against the candle.